morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls from the bands. Hello, hello, it's Rangers Radio. Hello, hello, this is the phone-in show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshare, on the panel is the one and only Bridgeman and young Stardog. Evening, gents.
Evening, Bridge. Evening, Oxshare.
Oh, can I say a big good evening to you two guys? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are we doing, gents?
Fantastic, Oxshare. Fantastic.
I'm doing. Sorry.
On you go, Bridge, man.
No, I was just going to say I'm doing very well. Thank you, Oxshare. Hopefully you're doing the same.
How are you, Stardog?
Aye, great, mate. Great. Nice wee day today. Decent weekend all round for Rangers fans. Another 3 points on the board. So, aye, can't complain as a Rangers fan. Life is good.
4 goals for, none conceded in the league so far. Back momentum, hopefully building, win the next 2 games, see what it takes us. Am I being too optimistic, Stardog?
No, I don't think you're asking for too much for the team there, mate. I think when the fixtures come out, I think we'd all been in agreement that Aberdeen would have been our hardest fixture of the month. I'm looking for 12 points on the board, the same as you, Oxford, but these next 2 fixtures then. So we'll just need to take it for the next game, St Johnstone. But what a performance at the weekend, mate. We broke them down eventually, didn't we?
Aye, well, obviously we heard from Bridgeman yesterday, so all days we'll hear from your good self. And then we'll hear from our manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE. And then we'll open up for calls. That sound all right to you, Stardog?
Superb, Oxford. Superb.
Okay.
My thoughts again yesterday, but my thoughts were, happy to get the 3 points. Happy to see Alfredo playing with a bit of passion, a bit of a smile on his face again. Happy to see Alfredo get the 2 goals. Still no happy with some of the football we play for the back. I think we can, we're going to end up getting caught out if we keep doing that. Oxford, we need to fix that right now. Also, I was not happy to see Joe Aribo, who I think has been our best player this season. I was not happy to see him out of position for Hadji. And I mean, Port Vale's got a week of ongoing feud anyway. He thinks Hadji should be where Aribo is, and I think the opposite. For me, Oxford, you're basically taking Joe Aribo out the team essentially when you put him out on the right. He's better driving through the middle for me. But I did like the fact that we'd went 4-2-3-1 because I've been shouting it for long enough.
Aye, but I think a Rebo at the moment's the informed player rather than Hadji. Hadji, I thought, done all right at the start of the game, but if I'm being honest, I think he faded out.
Aye, Oxford, I mean, he's known for doing that, isn't he? He's got a couple of brilliant passes in him. There was one in the first half where he made a quick through. Morelos, yep. But if you look at the third goal, it's Joe Aribo, mate, comes into the middle of the park and he plays a fantastic pass to Borna Barisic, who then puts it in for Morelos to get the third goal. So, that was Joe Aribo coming through the middle, bringing himself into the middle and making things happen. So for me, that's what I wasn't happy to see, mate. But again, I can't complain because we get 3 points. We won 3-0, as you said. Still not conceded a goal. The defence looked solid again. Some wee mistakes, mate, with our passing and things like that. But that's going to happen. We're all human at the end of the day. So I absolutely delighted with the 3 points and on to St Johnstone.
Aye. A lot of things here you covered, Stardog. I'll take the defence. I don't think it's just Rangers. I think it's this modern trend in football that's happening with the pass out for the back.
It's not nice to watch, mate, as a Rangers fan. Your heart's in your mouth while they're doing it. Oxford, I don't get comfortable watching that kind of football. Because all I think is, all it takes is for one of these teams to get confident, push an extra man up there, and all of a sudden you're putting your defenders under needless pressure, in my opinion. Oxford, I really don't see what the problem is with pushing. If we've got this attitude that when the teams have got the ball, I mean, look how fast Joe Aribo and Ryan Kent were nipping the ball off players when they've got it. If that's the way we're playing, they'll punt it up the park, and if they get the ball then, get it off them, and then you go in the counter-attack. I don't see this playing it for the back, and it's all one saying, it's working now because we're winning games, but how would we feel if we get caught out away to, Dundee United or away to Motherwell or whatever, with a goal like that, and we end up losing points out the game. So for me, it's something the defence has to sort out now, because we do look vulnerable sometimes when we're doing it. Even Big Balogun made a couple of mistakes at the weekend, but his pace gets him back in it, mate, and he's able to make the tackle and make up the ground. Golson was fun wanting a couple of times, but again, these two boys have been solid for this. They're not conceding any goals. I'm been pernickety, mate, if anything. But it's something I feel are going to get caught for one day if we keep doing it.
I just don't think you've been fair on your goalkeeper, mate. He passes the ball to you. He passes it 5 yards away for the 6-yard box, and you give him it back right on top of the goal. Sooner or later, somebody's going to run in, either take it off him or he's going to hit him. It's going to ricochet, and it's going to end up in the back of your net. I just don't get it when you can push your whole team up the park and move forward. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. It's just my thoughts, mate,
I feel the same, Oxford. You can push your team up the park, go along and fight for the second ball, and then spring the trap on them that way, and you're still up the park and you're closer to goal than what you were. I don't feel
lose a goal. You can't lose a goal for the halfway line. You can lose a goal when you're in 6-yard box, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've seen it moments last year. It was lapses of concentration that kind of done us last year, and I would hate to see that again, because we're doing so well now.
I'll bring in my defensive expert who had a few bits in defence, and that was into football. Bridgeman, what's your on this trend we've got?
I think we need to be, well, that's what you guys have said, we need to be very careful with it. There was a number of times it was three Rangers players rather, with the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box and passing the ball across, and you think it's this is daft, So sooner or later, just like you said, something may happen. Something might fall. It's dead easy to fall, stand in the ball and fall. So we need to get it right and find our men up the park a wee bit. And maybe the manager and the coaches need to shove them out a wee bit and say, do that at 18-yard box if you want, but stay away from there. Get it up the park. Find a midfielder. Go and do what you're supposed to do. Anything like that.
One of the problems I've got with gents is when we do that, we're two centre-half splits. Our fullbacks push up about 20 yards out wide. The two midfielders, Jack and Kamara, come to the edge of the box. We've not playing midfield.
That's correct.
So you ultimately end up that you hoof the ball. So why not just hoof it in the first place?
Yeah. I think we need to do...
Help me out. Starbuck, help me out.
Oxford, it feels like kind of schoolboy stuff. And I was going to make the point, at Ibrox it's alright, because I see we were watering the pitch and things like that, and we could move the ball about slicker and things like that. But when we go to these AstroTurf pitches and the grounds are dead sticky and the ball hardly moves in the pitches, you don't want to be playing that kind of fit at the back there. So for me, it's something Rangers have to sort out. Like you're saying, why are the midfielders coming to not even the 18-yard box, mate? The 6-yard box, I've seen Ryan Jack is back as far as that sometimes, coming back to the 6-yard box to take a pass. You're going to pass your midfield partner, he's back in the box with you, trying to get a ball out. You're going long ball, it's going out for a throw in, you're losing possession of the ball anyway. It's fairly schoolboy stuff to me, Oxford. I don't know if that's what they're encouraged to be doing. It obviously is, but there's times where you can play football and there's times where you've just got to lump it.
Your man's right, Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't disagree with what he was saying there. I think we've had a historic for the last season and a half. We sometimes struggle trying to run out properly. The way we would attack, because there was a maybe 2 seasons ago we were looking absolutely brilliant. We broke for the back, we ran, and we carried the ball, we passed, all that.
2 seasons ago under Kachina.
No. Under Gerrard.
His first season?
Yes, first season.
Oh, right, okay.
So we look quite good doing that. And unfortunately, we had maybe the players done the same. Maybe we've changed slightly. That's the only thing I've got. We need to get that change back, get the proper quality player that he's in, and let's get it done. Because we've got some smashing players. I've got virtually no complaints about any of the players. The only things I complain about is the physical that you see. Is poor passing here and there, and we know that happens because players are players. But that happens when a crucial stage of the game or a crucial position in the park, that kind of thing. So we really need to tighten up on that. But other than that, I think Saturday's performance was an excellent performance. That was like 3-0 going on 13. That's what that was like. And their goalkeeper, who played for us, had a really good game. A really good game.
I've got some stats. 28 shots we had, 12 on target, 74% possession, 690 passes. Is that 1690? I can't read that. 90% accuracy, 9 fouls, no yellow cards, no reds, no offsides. Well, you're never going to be offside when they
No,
they were
no.
playing.
That, mate, they were camped out in the goal line for the first 25 minutes, weren't they?
You need to be sitting in the blue rolling stand to get gain offside. I tell you, mate, if that's the ambition that these teams have got, why not come out and have a game of football and get beat 5-1 or something? You know what I mean? What have they?
Yeah.
They get beat 3-0, and but they're taking that as been all right. I just don't get it.
I think Austria, the way we were playing, especially in the first 25 minutes, 3-0 and away favourites, and I'm thinking we probably did get off lightly, because we were playing some really, really good stuff. My only complaints at the build-up play is, Austria, you were a midfielder yourself. Why would you? But even when you're watching it on the telly, why does Ryan Jack have to pass to Glenn Kamara? I was saying, why does Ryan Jack have to pass it to Glenn Kamara for Glenn Kamara to put it out to Tavernier? Does Ryan Jack not know how to switch the ball? Because, for me, we need to be faster sometimes. It's them two all the time. They slow the play up for me. And I don't see the point in a 3-yard pass when there's a 25-yard pass there and the man standing free shouting for the ball. I don't understand that, Austria.
Even Kevin Thompson was telling you on the commentary, mate, that we had to up the tempo, didn't we? Well, I'll tell you what we do. We'll hear from our manager, see what he's got to say. Eh?
Cool.
Yep. Get yourself some mute.
Clean sheet, as you say, 3 important points and a real positive all-round display. I thought we were very dominant, certainly in the first half. Saying to them at half-time, can we be a little bit less cute around the box? We were trying to score the perfect goal, but we kept forcing the issue. We got the breakthrough with the own goal, but again, it's a fantastic cross, and we're putting St Mirren under pressure. But I was really pleased with the first half, and then it was just about getting that second goal and really sucking the life out of St Mirren, and we did that. That came at a good time for us, and then we finished the game off in style. Yet ultra critical. I want more goals. I think the display and our style deserved more goals, but you've got to give St Mirren credit. They're an organised team. The manager's been praising them all week because of how well they've started the season, how organised they are. So I've got to give my credit, boys, because we were set a challenge today and we passed it with flying colours.
Yeah, the first half in particular, as you say, you created so many opportunities. It was great to see the team finding so many ways to bring down the tight defence. Yeah,
I think our build-up play was really strong, really good. We were getting into the right areas, but sometimes we try and score the perfect goal. We're looking for that perfect combination or the perfect bit of magic, whereas sometimes you just don't complicate it, shoot more, cross more, put it into dangerous areas and you get rewards, and we certainly done that from a set piece.
How pleased are you with the strength and depth you've got using the 5 subs today, giving Cedric a debut and also bringing on other international players?
Yeah, I know, but we're Rangers. Rangers should have strength and depth. Rangers should have good players and good reserve players and good squad players, and you should be, as a manager, be able to rest players and bring in the same quality, because we're a big football club and we're Rangers. So I'm delighted with the strength and depth we've got at the moment. We've started the season really well, 6 points out of 6, but we need to recover now and get ready to try and find the same kind of display on Wednesday night.
2 goals and an assist from Alfredo following on from last week's assist. Fantastic to see him contributing so much.
Yeah, I wanted a bit more from him in midweek. We spoke about that, but he certainly responded today. I think domestically his 2 performances have been fine. Thought he was decent at Aberdeen. Could have been a little bit better, if you like, in terms of taking his chances and getting his shots off. But today I thought his all-round performance was good, and more often than not, if you've got his talent and you play well, your numbers will come, and he came today, and I'm pleased with his all-round contribution.
And just finally, St Johnstone, are you expecting a quite similar test on Wednesday night?
Well, they would have watched today. They would have watched the game. I'm sure there was someone here, and they'll watch it on the tape, so they'll see the quality we've got. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see whether they come and try and front us up and go toe-to-toe. If not, if they set us the challenge of beating the block, then we have to accept that and try and find the answers.
Beat the block. It's like a new quiz show, isn't it?
Beat the blocks,
I could listen to that guy all day, Austria. I could listen to him all day. We're Rangers.
Aye, he made that point about 3 or 4 times, didn't he?
Brilliant. But he's spot on, mate. You know, we have to be more ruthless in front of the goals. Sometimes I even feel as if before Alfie gets his goal, and this isn't a criticism of Alfie, because I think build-up playing he's been brilliant. You know, sometimes the wee 1-2s and the tippy-tappy stuff in about the box, sometimes you're just wanting that boy to put his foot through it. You know, he was trying to lay folk. But you know, Alfredo Morelos, he was laying folk off an awful lot in the first half for me. I didn't like that. It's when last season, even Kevin Thompson mentioned it. And that's another point. I thought the commentary was superb, by the way. Clive Tilsley making his debut. I thought it was superb. But they made the point as well. This time last season, he would have put his foot through half these chances. But he's got his 2 goals now, so he's back, isn't he?
Listen, mate, I mean, whether we like it or not, we've scored 4 goals in the league. And Alfredo's been involved in Ironbridge. Made 2.
Absolutely.
Scored
2 assists and 2 goals. You can't ask for much more than that, really.
And he's not punched anybody in the face, has he?
He's not punched anybody in the face yet. In fact, he's been punched in the face yesterday.
Has anybody else done that? Any other strikers done that?
No, only Celtic strikers.
What's that?
I'm prepared to talk about.
What's that? Breaking up, mate.
I'm saying no end. I'm prepared to talk about anybody. No end that it's worth talking about here.
All right, okay.
I think that's a kind of dodgy subject because I know it's been mentioned. I looked on follow today, and there's a couple of posts on there when mentioning it, and looking for the compliance officer to take it up. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know.
Move on.
I'm just saying that's what I saw. So whether it happens, I don't really care.
Your language is disgusting sometimes, you know.
Hey, not as bad as that Port Bear at the weekend. Did he know of a shocker, Oxshare on here, or did he have a shocker, by the way?
Who?
Port Bear.
Oh, I've deleted him from my phone.
Oh, God almighty.
You know,
what a shocker.
Yesterday, didn't he?
Mate, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Starter? You've got to be fussy. You know, he cracked under pressure.
Oh my God! I tell you, see if there was a camera, I'd love to have seen his face yesterday. Obviously, the folk don't know what the kind of hard effort and the work that goes on backstage before the show. But obviously, Port Bear thought he had a bombshell dropped on him, didn't he? And he kind of flapped a wee bit.
Not for me to comment on, mate, but I just, cracked under a bit of pressure.
When we're Oxshare, that boy will be fine.
He's some man. Some man.
Right.
Right, where were we? You put me off now, Starter. No laughing at Port Bear, laughing with him.
Well, what about this agreement, this Hadji Aribo feud that we've got going on now? Where do you stand on Oxshare?
Well, at the moment, Hadji couldn't lace Aribo's boots. Bridgeman, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Aribo's kind of star man from a midfield perspective. And an old inside forward type perspective as well, the way he's dribbling the ball. Absolutely storming through the games. Unfortunately, I think he was stuck out in the right wing and sacrificed a wee bit his game for it. But I think he's most assuredly a really good player. We saw that last season. We've saw it the first few games this season. He loves that sort of, that mazy dribble, ball stuck at the foot, and just great to watch, There's a lot of Partick boys used to think they could play like that years ago, but they couldn't.
Oh, they could. I just, when Joe Aribo gets the ball, you feel as if something's going to happen. Same to some degree with Hadji. He's always looking to shoot, which is not a bad thing, Starter, but you're just not as confident that something's going to happen with Aribo as you are with Hadji. Aye, yeah. But we'll put that out to people and let us know their thoughts on it. It'd be great to hear from you.
That's worth a Big Mac and a McFlurry at the end of the year. I've said to Port Bear there's only one way to solve a feud. Whoever out of they two boys gets the most goals and assists, I get silly in a Big Mac at the end of the year.
Doesn't it really? That for a start, you can sort out a feud a lot of ways, can't you, Bridge?
Oh yes, there are a number of ways. Without going into specifics. Swords,
that works. Baseball bats, hammers, right? But stats and assists, mate, it doesn't really show you the picture, does it? I mean, at the moment, I think most people would accept that Aribo or Aribo, as he was called in Thursday night, is one of their main men. We've not seen that about Hadji. If anybody feels different, what's the number, Stardog?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
He nearly did a port there, didn't he?
Oh no, I emphasised the 6.
I'm only joking, pal. Only joking.
Where else can you join us, Fridgeman?
They can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online, and Fox or Old School Blue, maybe both, will bring you in. Enjoy yourself.
The hard working technical department, huh?
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're just learning, Stardog, yeah? They boys work hard, didn't they?
The boys have got a shift, to tell you. Nobody knows what goes on in the background, mate, before the show, making sure everything's ticking there and making sure we get a good show he does. So thanks to Terry and all Fox sorting us out before the show, mate. An incredible job they're doing there.
Yep. It'd be great to hear from people. So give us a call, join us on Skype, pick up on Stardog's point if you like, or talk about anything yesterday. And what a fun, amazing yesterday. The queues were still 3/4 of the way around Ibrox when the game was going on, Richard. That's one of the ones you tell your mom to go and get the strip for you, innit?
Yeah, I'm no kidding. The queues at Ibrox, I mean, when we first came back, I thought I'd never seen anything like it. We were queued all the way down nearly to the subway. Amazing stuff to get your book, your new books and that. Just 3 days in a row we were up there. Fantastic to see the number of fans. And look at it now. With just 3, is that no 3 days in a row again there? The place
that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the day
just
as well.
unbelievable. Just unbelievable stuff, you know. Fantastic. Well done. Hats off to all the Rangers fans who've done it. Fantastic, the Bears.
Here, we've been joined by one of our own, Georgie Logan, who was working in God's country today, mate. He was trying to educate him. He messaged me today. How we doing, George?
How's all doing, boys? All right?
All right, George.
Hi, George.
I just want to talk. I was working through your neck of the woods, a nice bit of the country the day, Ox. Like I always say, the people through there always treat you like your own. But we're just what you're saying about the night, how we're playing and things like that, Ox. I'm quite excited again. I think I spoke to you last week before the game, and what I said was, come a month from now, which let's say the 1st of September, I didn't think the team, the starting 11 would look the same. And I think it's starting to look like it now. I think we've got a wee bit of different players for different positions, players who can play certain positions. We're still missing a couple, but I think the big centre half's been a right good find for us. I think that's what we really need at the back. Somebody strong at the back. The big centre forward's got to be a good bit of business for us as well. So it's exciting times again, Ox. We've got players in certain positions and we need more improvements, but we're getting excited again and we're starting to play well again.
George, who's exciting you? Who are you enjoying?
Oh, I said that last season about wee Aribo. I watched him playing in the cages.
All right, maybe we you, but most of us normal guys, he's no wee. He's like 6 foot 2.
I'm the same size as me then, so Aribo Ox, but I think he's going to be a really exciting player for us. I think our whole team's really exciting. The young boys are coming through. I think Aribo will be a really good player for us. I don't think Ryan Jack will be a big player for us this year, if I'm perfectly honest. I think that's maybe the position I would probably improve in. But when you've got guys like Aribo, Barisic, and by the way, as much as folk slag Tav for defending, the kind of football I think we've got to start playing, I think Tav will come right in his game because of a right wing back. I think that's the way we've got to be. So that's why I'm saying I'm excited. Because the big centre half was a big find for us. I think that's something we needed. Bridgman's been grown about it. Bloated we said after the post last week and got him rubbed himself down. I love that, Ox. I really love that. You've got to look after guys' health and safety, but I think we've got to get guys who want to play for us, and I think he's one of them there. So that's why I'm saying I'm excited about it, Ox.
All right, so there you go. Stardog 1 in the Aribo camp for you.
Easy money for me, mate.
I think so, mate. I think you can order your mate for you now. In fact, if I know Portbury, he'll maybe get you this Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, or next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh no, he'll hold it to the bitter end, mate. A bit tight-fisted that in with his money.
Can I come in, Ox? Yeah.
Yes, mate.
I was going to say that we were speaking there about Hadji and having shots at goals, and I'm thinking to myself that I think I mentioned that last week. We need we need Alfredo to hit his form. We need him to make himself available in the box so that people who do have shots, invariably the goalkeeper is going to make a shot, a save. It might hit the bar post or it gets blocked. But if the way things are with Alfredo, if he's not there, we ain't going to score a goal because there's nobody else in the box in general at that point. So it's really good to feel right now that he scored 2 goals, made 2 goals, or assisted in 2 goals.
To be honest,
I think it's
with you,
fabulous.
At times yesterday, particularly in the first 20 minutes, mate, we had 5, 6, 7 players in the box.
Absolutely, yeah. I was meaning that when Hadji gets it and he's maybe just outside the box and he wants to have a shot, if he has a shot at goal, there is nobody in the box. You know, in general, there's nobody in the box. The only person that would be there is Alfredo. And unfortunately, he's been a wee bit off form. But yesterday, he clicked back in a wee bit for him. So, yes, go ahead and do these shots. And if any chances that run about there, he'll take it. If he gets his form back, great. Pleased to see it.
It's funny, George, and I actually thought Morelos all-round football game was better against Aberdeen. But yesterday, Maidstone scores 2. It's funny, isn't it?
I said the same, Ox, and that's just the way football goes sometimes. I think it was Stardug said the other night there in the Coventry game, he played well as well, and that's what happens. Yesterday, he really wasn't much in the game, but he done the damage for us. Ox, like Bridgeman saying there, Kent, Aribo, Hadji, I ken a lot of folks still a bit if in doubts with Hadji. I think if he puts a couple of pound on him, maybe do it a lot better. But Barisic and guys like that, so I think we're really. I'm not going to score Ox. I'm not at all, because if I'm perfectly honest about it, starting 11, they're still ahead of us. But I hope they just keep improving in places they need to improve. As simple as that. Our goalkeeper's always been better than theirs anyway. Our centre halves is probably just as good as theirs now, if no slightly
better, mate.
I would say Ox. So we're improving all the time. That's why I'm saying I'm excited about it, because I couldn't really get up for the European game the other night there because there's a pandemic happened, Ox, and that football is finished for me. So we've got a new start, and we started against Aberdeen, we started this one. So I'm quite excited for the season ahead.
Aye. Funny enough, George, that's the first you mentioned that. Obviously, we went 2 points clear. We're great rivals, which is a big boost on. Obviously, a long way to go, Starstug, but still a big boost for us. And I bet there was a lot of houses cheering about back of 6 last night.
Oh, mate, I can see where everybody's coming from, right? But we've got to watch here. We all remember how it felt for us last season when we thought we were going. It's not about them. It can't be about them, mate. We've got to have tunnel vision this year. Their results don't matter to us. Well, they win, lose or draw this year. As long as Rangers keep getting the 3 points on the board, we can't start looking at them this year. It's the most irrelevant thing you can do. You just can't do it. It's all about Rangers this season for me, mate. Vision, and you don't look here, your shoulder. Don't look until you've got the title, mate. Don't look back. Just keep going. That's what I'm saying to all the Rangers fans. We all remember how we felt last year. After Christmas, we come back and we were rotten, and we all had egg in our faces. So let's just get behind the team and just get the tunnel vision on, guys. Never mind what they're doing. They're not even worth talking about.
All right, mate. But we've got that lead, and you're right. And let's see if we can build momentum. That's momentum for our club. Anyway, if people want to join us, Stardog, what's the number?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Or joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. You brought in the call with Fox and Old School Blue. We've been joined by JFK. Evening,
Jimmy.
Evening, Ox here, Bridgeman, George, and Starder. How's all doing, guys?
All right, mate. All right. You're good.
Excellent to hear, pal.
I'm good. I've got a bit of inspiration for you, Ox, here today.
Go on then.
You were talking last night about the Rangers stud kit, and you started to talk about the black and the tangerine orange.
mature tangerine.
Mature, and so I went out today and I got myself a 10-litre tub of burnt orange for my fence and my gate. And I was out there all day painting it with a big orange gate. The big
What did
Stevie man
Mrs.
said,
JFK say?
"Oh, she doesn't get a say in it, mate. I tied it to the chair." Oh, it looks nice, mate. Started to rain. Oh, it looks cracking. Burnt orange, it's called. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, you might have to get a painter in to finish it, mate.
Hey, don't you go there. Don't you even go there. And I'm burning
See,
another.
Mr. Logan was working. Sent me a picture of Crawford Street today.
Aye.
He did. He was working in that part of the world.
All right. Well, that's bad.
But now you've had time to reflect, JFK. Thoughts on yesterday?
I'm still the same as yesterday. I'm very pleased. You know, the only disappointment for me was that we never scored a lot more goals. I think a couple put the Cowboy showed it when they said that probably Almick will have a worldie. He didn't actually have a worldie, but he made 2 or 3 good saves. One of them was kind of Hollywood save, the shot for Tavernier. I think he made a meal of that. But can I say about this playing for the back? It kind of frightens me. I mean, we got away with it against St Mirren and that, but if you all noticed last week when we were playing Leverkusen, they'd actually pushed us right back a couple of times nearly to our byline, and I'm not happy with the way that's played out like that, mate. I'd rather see the goalkeeper roll the ball out if he can to outside the 18-yard box. I know anti-goalkeepers punting the ball up anymore, but I'm just hoping it doesn't come back parts of the season and bite us hard, because I'm not keen on it at all. Really, to be pushed as far back as that last week was frightening, but I expected that for Leverkusen, but if St Mirren can do it, mate, you wonder what's...
The trouble with that, I don't know what you want to call it, this modern trend, because we're not the only team that's doing it, GFK.
No.
Right? The trouble with that modern trend is the people who you push up the park don't even have to tackle you. They don't have to stand next to players, and then you carry past it and you've nowhere to go.
Yep. And then, as you said, you make a rickety and the next thing the ball's in the air and it's a free-for-all after that.
Well, I think we've been joined by a caller in GFK. I think it might be somebody you know. Evening, caller.
All right, lads, how you doing?
Here he is.
Hope everybody's good. Stevie boy, how are you?
Big Stevie for the drum. How you doing, pal?
It's no big Stevie for the drum. It's extra big Stevie for the drum.
Oh,
you're a bad man. I'm on a pot noodle diet and now I'm trying to squeeze into this.
Pot noodle diet.
He phoned me yesterday. He said, "The only thing I could get in the Rangers show, I stole a hat off the mannequin to pay for it. It was the only thing that fitted them."
Man, I worked a hat right off a mannequin, man. We were running shy. I was over. There's only 2 left. I said, "Oh, give us that, man. Get that for my holidays." But listen, don't phone you for, guys. I'm awfully worried about our midfield. I mean, you're playing at Ibrox. You're looking for an attacking midfield. See Ryan Jack and Kamara. They're across the park. They're back away. They had it up for me a wee bit. I don't know who it was that was saying it earlier on. I was boozing about the house when it was getting said. I don't know if it was Stardog or no. I'm
who don't want to know, Museum means he was doing hoovering and dusting. All right, carry on.
By the way, you're no far off it. You're no far off it. But no, it's really worrying me, guys. Everywhere else, I think we're all right. But we need 2 things. We need a killer in the midfield. We need somebody that's going to be an enforcer, take it by the scruff of the neck. And when we're at Ibrox, we need attacking midfielders. Holding midfielder, they're all similar, too nice, and I'm just worried about the midfield, guys. I don't know what your opinions on it are, but I'm just a wee bit worried about our midfield.
I'm not blaming the players for this. I'm blaming the management team who set us up, Stardog, because all they have to do is tweak the formation. Stardog, can you come?
Aye, 100% back what Stevie's saying there. But he'll no do it Oxshire. He refuses to do it at Ibrox. I mean, I made the point earlier on in the show. Ryan Jack's playing a 5-yard pass to Glenn Kamara for him to then go and play it out to Tavernier. We're not fast enough, mate. I think we need somebody with a bit of vision. Somebody that's got a bit of grip, but somebody that's got a bit of vision. Somebody that's willing to make a 40, 50-yard pass. Somebody that's going to be brave on the ball, mate. Paul Bear touched on it at the weekend as well. Somebody that's going to go with the ball and travel with the ball 20 yards. I mean, Stevie, can you tell me the difference between Glenn Kamara, Ryan Jack and Scott Arfield? Because I can't tell you what any of them do differently.
Nah, that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying.
Aye.
That's exactly my point. I totally agree with you. I'm just a wee bit worried. There's no to there, man. There's no tough, hard man right for a start, and then there's, when it comes to it, it's all holding midfielders. They slow it down. It's across the park one way. And you're totally right. Whoever was saying about the short passing, there's a guy 25 yards up the line. He plays a 3-yard pass so that he can play the 18-yard pass. They just get the pass and get it gone. It's all about momentum. The AV team's only as fit as us, and if we keep that ball moving, the momentum of the game, you'll get more out it. You'll get more goals out in my eyes anyway. But I just think the midfield's just a wee bit of a worry. They seem slow. They seem to slow it up for me. And it could be a lot better in my eyes. Don't get me wrong, as Ox says there, it might not be but it's not so much the boy, it's the system. It's the setup of the system of the midfield.
Too many, even Kevin Thompson said that on the commentary, Bridgeman, too many touches and not quick enough.
Yeah, we've came across it and seen it before. We've been watching it for a few years. We really have to get smarter. And Big Stevie's, he's probably hit the nail on the head there when he's saying we need people that can actually do it. Stardug has been shouting like that for a while as well. I think everybody's been saying the same thing. We need a really, really quality midfielder, a real quality midfielder. That's what we really need, and that should help us. Somebody that's got the vision and the insight, and the one that you can say, "I'll give the ball to him and he'll spray it." A Pirlo. I'm not saying Pirlo himself, but someone like Pirlo can pass a ball and then look after the whole midfield that way, because that's what you really need. Somebody can play football.
Again, I'll go back to JFK with this. JFK, I mean, my criticism isn't with the two boys. I remember talking to Ian Ferguson many years ago, and when Fergie came to the team, remember he played with centre forward with St Mirren, you remember?
Yep.
And Fergie played in front of your defence. He played in that, and I asked him how he never went forward anymore, and he told us straight. He says, "I'm told no, and I want to be in the team next week."
I agree with you. It's not the players. It's the system that he's playing. You know, the three of them are too much the same. And we rubbish 5-yard passes. They should, playing in the middle there, they should be able to see what's in front of them and be able to spray the passes about and bring others into the game. Especially Alfredo or whoever it's going to be is playing up front. They need to bring them into the game. And you can't always look for Alfredo to come back.
There is times for quick 3-5 yard passes, yeah. There is times for it, but it's all about the decision making. When they do that at the wrong time and are taking the momentum out the attack, yeah.
Well, Stardug made a good point. Now, what can you see the difference between the three of them? They're all as muchness, no.
Arfield's the most defensive of the three of them, isn't he?
Aye.
Oh, make a quick the 3-yard pass. See if you look at the third goal, Joe Rebo makes maybe a 4-yard pass to Alfredo Morelos, skips by his man, receives the ball back, carves the defence open with a great ball to Barisic, boom, it's in the box and it's a goal. That's when you want to be doing it. When you're playing ball passes, mate, you've got to be running forward and making something happen and willing to receive the ball back, not just standing there and having your handiwork.
I think I'll back you up. I've told you Rebo's better than Taji. You've got my vote, so you don't need to keep going on about it.
I'm making an example, mate. That's when you play your 3-yard passes, when you're wanting to make something move and you're wanting to skip.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with 3-0 passes. And there's also nothing wrong with 3-yard passes, Big Stevie, if you're 3-0 up and you're just playing the game out. Yeah?
Oh, aye. Of course, in Europe and stuff like that, aye. But I agree with Stardug what he's saying there is, look, Big Aribo likes to get through the middle, nice 1-2 with somebody, one touch and go. But it just seems to be static with the three boys in the midfield, you know what I mean? And they just kind of hold it back. Is Big Jordy Logan still on?
Ah, he's still here, mate.
I'm here, Stevie. Aye, how you doing? All right?
George, all right, mate. Yourself. Listen, what's your opinion on the midfield, George?
Well, see what you're saying there, Stevie. See, that's the thing. I think we're still in the market for a midfielder. We need one midfielder to take the place of Jack, Kamara, Steve Davis, and Arfield as well, because they guys are all too similar for me. I think we need a guy in there who's I don't know the name. I don't know the guy, but we're missing one position, and I think that's the one we need, Stevie. Is it for example, is it Kenny McLean, somebody that can play a bit of football? I don't know what we're missing, but I think we're in the market for definitely that midfielder, and I think that's probably as close to the jigsaw as we're going to get, Stevie, if we're perfectly honest.
Kenny McLean's, too much like Ryan Jack, but
I just want somebody a wee bit more attacking than Ryan Jack. I don't know the answer, Stevie, but I think we're going to have to pay money for him. I mean, I think we're still going to bring in another striker. Maybe it's one of these Scottish guys just to sit on the bench as well. But I think we're in the market for a midfielder. And like Bridgman keeps on saying, we're going to have to pay the money if we want to.
Norwich are quoting 8.5, 9 million for him, George.
See, that's what I mean, Jimmy. I just said that name for an example, but I hope we're out there looking for somebody right now, because I said about the boy Ferguson, I don't think that's what we need. I think Aribo is good enough to go forward. I think we need somebody who can just play that. Probably a Kevin Thompson sort of style. We're looking for a Barry Ferguson. Can just give me Barry Ferguson all day long. But you can't get these guys now.
No.
Well, you can, George. You can.
They're out there, but you just finding them.
You just have to mould them and blend them and see where it goes. Look, again, I'll go back to my point. I'm not having a go at Kamara and Jack Stardog. I don't know. Are they putting instructions? Because it seems very. It seems as that's the tactics.
Aye, I get your point in that, Oxford, but then if you listen to Gerrard's interview after the game, he's actually encouraging them to go and shoot more. I know he's talking to all the team in general, but I mean, Ryan Jack and Glenn Kamara. I mean, Glenn Kamara actually did have a shot there at the weekend. It's not like him. I think it's maybe the second shot I've ever seen him hit in his life. But Ryan Jack, for me, is the one that stands out, Oxford, and I don't know if the manager's telling him to do it or not. I would like to think at home to St Mirren, the manager's encouraging everybody to go and get themselves a goal, mate, especially when you've got, 74% possession? You know what I mean? You've got to let the trigger go sometimes. We were trying to get a perfect goal sometimes, and the full team's, culpable of that. But Ryan Jack and Glenn Kamara need to start chipping in with goals, mate. They need to, even for corners, there's no one of them that's an aerial threat either.
That's where you go with Aribo, isn't it? 6'2", and you can't shove him off the ball, and he helps you in both boxes. Big Stevie, and then George.
I mean, sorry, what do you mean, man? You've got to have him charging into that penalty box, haven't you? You've got to have him. That's where he's at his most dangerous. Charging through the middle, doing a wee 1-2 with somebody and having a dig, bending it into the bottom corner, something like that there. But that's my problem with Rangers too. See, when I watch other teams and I watch them attacking, I look in the box and you're seeing 6 or 7 of the players in the box. Sometimes when we're attacking, our wingers are, and you're lucky if there's 2 guys in the middle of the box went in the bottom. They need to start. They need to Jack and Kamara and that need to start pushing up a wee bit when we're on the ascendancy and get into that box and look for it, and they'll get something. They'll fall to them and they'll get something, but they never do it. They always hold right back. The 3 of them, the 2 of them, Jack and Kamara. I know, who was it? I had the dig. Somebody had a great dig. Was it? It was Kamara, what you were saying. He had a bendy shot and it wasn't that far away, but it's very few and far between the shots. You need to get these boys into the box, man. It's a charge, especially when you're at Ibrox, man. You need to get into the box and get in about
it. George, and then JFK.
See, that's what I tried to say that a few times last season, Ox. Even the season before that, the centre halves, the goalkeeper wasn't as strong. We've got a good goalkeeper, and the centre halves weren't as strong. There's a wee bit of weakness here all the time. I don't know if our midfielders are trying to protect the centre halves too much as well, Ox, and they're not actually getting to play their own game. I quite believe we've got a few good centre halves in now, and if we can keep them fit and things like that, maybe our midfielders are actually start playing their own game, Ox, and maybe are getting told to hold back that wee bit. And they're not spraying the passes, they're not doing the midfield game that they can actually do and get the ball to the strikers.
JFK.
I think we've all been saying that we need a fighter in there, a midfield battler, ball winner, and we've not got that. And I was hoping that Ryan Jack would do that. On the back four, the centre defence, I think we're all right there. I don't think we need to bring anybody in. But I'm just looking for another striker.
Many centre halves you need.
Exactly. I would say we need another striker, definitely a ball winner in the middle of the park, and another right back, and only to give Tav a wee shake up because.
Can I remind you that we won the game 3-0 yesterday, and I think at times we played some decent stuff, Big Stevie. It was just a hard crowd to please. We're always looking for negatives.
Listen. see when the Bears are looking for negatives, it's actually because they want us to be more positive, you know what I mean? It's just, for me, we are a hard crowd to please. I mean,
That's
we
how
won
you're not an
3-0.
electrician.
Aye, green to green, red to red, blue to fuck. Aye, you're right. No, for me, guys, we are a hard crowd to please. I just think we could win 6-0 and we'll find a flaw somewhere. It's just who we are. It's just that our expectations and what we want is some way miles worth. You know, sometimes we need to really take a wee step back. You know, the 3-0, no goals, we move on. You know, but it's just, you're worrying about this season. Every kick, I mean, I'm kicking every ball. Even, guys, I don't normally do it, but I turned the game out of the beggars game, and I was kicking every single ball, man. I was in a boot, I was screaming, you name it. She's going, what the hell's going on in here? And I'm honestly, and that's just how this season's really going to get. It's just, we're all up the high door. It's the seasons of seasons, and we're all just worried that we need to get it right. And we are a hard crowd.
So we're a hard crowd to please because we care, Starduck. Then Bridgeman.
Absolutely. I mean, look, Rangers are our club. They're our club. We can't get it out of body where they're parties. I just want us to do well. Exactly. I just want us to do well and do it right. Do it if we can find a style that relates to the Rangers fans.
Stevie, can you go on
Fantastic.
mute when you're not talking, mate?
Listen, I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to go. I'm at the Wayne's training. Right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right, cheers, big man. Carry on, Chris.
No, I was just saying that we're trying to find a style, and we're close to having been quite a good team. I think I love watching us, you know, and we can, as long as it's okay, we can critique, we can find fault here and there, but we're not actually trying to destroy anyone. But just critique. We didn't like that pass or that pass or that pass. Mm-hmm. But we've got some really good players. We've got, as JFK said, they've got quite a good, strong back four now, and two good goalkeepers following up. So that's something to go with. The midfield, I think there's competition in the midfield there. We might be able to shake it up, but I do believe sincerely we really do need a really, really good midfield player, and that would give you, God knows what, it would lift you up so high it's not real. Just fantastic. Go for it. That's what I say. Go for it.
I think we're missing a type in midfield. Stardust.
That's correct.
Aye, look, I'm not calling any players out. You know, I've got my complaints with Saturday, but it's nothing. It's just an honest assessment of the game, mate. You know, I think as Rangers fans, we care about the club, mate, and we're always looking to improve. Like that's what we were always all about anyway. But we're always looking to improve, mate. You're always looking to strengthen the squad. You're always looking to see what you can do and where you can do it. And the manager made that point as well, mate. You know, it's healthy to have competition for places. And, you know, the big things are looking with Steve Davis and between Arfield, Jack and Kamara. You know, I don't think there's enough healthy competition in there for places, mate. And big clubs like Rangers need healthy competition if we're going to be bringing trophies home. So, look, that's what it's all about being a Rangers fan, mate. We just care about the team. We care about the club. I think we've been here and we've seen it before. We're just wanting to get it right this year, Oxford, because this really, really matters to us.
Aye, well, you can only take it one game at a time. And then obviously a game coming up at Ibrox, which I think we should win. We've been joined by James from Tennessee. Evening, James.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
How we doing, mate? All right?
Fine. Yeah, good. I just wanted to make a brief comment. A couple of players that would fill the two positions I feel we need. There's a guy called Fuad Bakaru. He's 30 years of age. He plays for Malmo. They call him the Swedish Kante. He actually tackles all over the pitch. Even when he goes up to the 18-yard box, he'll tackle people. And I think you would get him for £1 million. Vancouver Whitecaps are looking at him. Besiktas were looking at him last year. And he's a smaller guy. He's only 5'6", but he's a good tackler. The other guy I would recommend is a guy called Jai Hecklenkamp from Ajax, a 20-year-old guy, great centre midfield player, made the first goal for Huntelaar on Saturday and scored a goal with a head. And he would go for about £3 million, £4 million, much better than Kenny McLean. So we should be buying players from Ajax, PSG, reserve players that we can take off them. So you'd be a good buy. But I think Rangers sometimes they have the ball in the opposition midfield and they go back the way. You can't give them time to reorganise. I don't know why they play that system. They play the ball back all the time.
That's the biggest criticism that's coming out for yesterday, mate. It's no, we know we kept the ball. We know we've done a lot of things well, but just when we done the counter attack, and a couple of times we took the foot off the gas, and we go sideways and go back, and then the next thing you know, there's 10 men behind the ball again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad coaching thing. I don't know why he does it. We should get the ball fast. Even if we have attack and lose the ball, the defence is there to win the ball back. You can't do that, play the ball. We're too slow. And Kamara and Jack are very similar. We need players like these guys I'm talking. Okay, they might never come, but it's just people. I always suggest people that we can bring in and say, oh, we need somebody else with an answer for you. But I think these guys are good. Like the guy from Ajax is a great technique. He's a great player. You buy young guys from PSG, Ajax, all these teams that are in the reserves because they're not going to get through the first team next year. And the guy from Malmo is it's like a miniature. The Brown is the other side. But he'd tackle anybody. But yeah.
Can I ask James something?
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
James, why would we buy somebody else's reserves, mate? We don't need reserves. I know. I can see your thinking there about because they come from Ajax now, but that doesn't make them great players. I mean, the great players are Johan Cruyff and Rudy Krol, and they were all great players. But I'm sorry, but I 100% disagree. We shouldn't be buying anybody's reserve players. We need players to hit the ground running. This is a championship we're trying to win here this season, and we can't afford to be bringing reserve players for another club. If they can't get a game for Ajax reserves, then they shouldn't be in the first team at Ibrox, mate. I'm sorry, 100% disagree. I know you've got good knowledge of the players abroad there, but for me, I'm not looking for reserve players. We've done it with Liverpool far too many times.
You get Port Bear's teeth in.
I did, mate. But come back and bit is big time, and I don't want to go down that road again. And I can see your rationale, but the reserve players, mate, they shouldn't even get a look at a Rangers jersey. I'm sorry, I 100% disagree with your thinking in that aspect.
I'm 100% with Jimmy there. I know James likes to phone in and come out with players and that, but remember you said that guy you would play. What was it you said you would have paid for that guy Kakao, James, 3 or 4 million, and then you phoned us in last week. Said you wouldn't even give us $1 million from the. We need players that are here and now. I think Rangers, if they're going to be spending money on midfield players, James, for me, we're going to have to go out and spend real money, £4 or £5 million, and get the finished article. For me, I think we've got a lot of prospects at the club now, and Hadji, Aribo, Kent, and even Morelos to a certain degree as well because of his age. I think we've got enough youth in the team, and if we're adding to that engine room, it's going to have to be right experienced players and players that know what it's going to take to play with Glasgow Rangers. If you can't get an Ajax reserves, you're never going to cut it in Scotland. And a 5'6" player in the centre of the park is never going to win battles up here, mate. It just isn't. It doesn't matter how technical you are. You're 5'6", you're just not going to win battles in Scotland.
So you wouldn't take Kanté in your team then?
Even this would be too physical for him here. I'm not even joking when I say that. It's a different kettle of fish up here. Players that are in your face wanting to fight you for the first whistle, mate. This isn't some exotic league we're playing in here. This is where you've got to roll your sleeves up, mate, and get mucked in about it. And that's what Glasgow Rangers is all about. Too many prospects, mate. We need somebody for the engine room.
I wonder how many games Tommy McLean played. Must have been over 500.
Can I just make a point? All right. I value your opinion, but Fulham actually, I can't remember the guy's name, but they bought a player from Nice and paid $2.5 million. He's a fantastic attacking player. He's a much better player than Ryan Kent. Much better player. He was in the Fulham team. I can't remember his name, but he's fantastic. And all these guys are all at a higher level than any of the Scottish players. So that's why Scotland. We don't produce good players. So these guys I'm talking about are much higher than the level we've
You've got to
got.
remember, James, that Fulham just get handed £90 million of a parachute payment, mate.
Aye,
but-
so
You know,
Yeah, but they only paid 2.6 million for this
but
guy
what's the
2 years
wages?
ago. Yeah, I don't know.
The
But-
wages are basically, he's basically came and said, I'll take 40 grand a week, yeah? JFK?
Yeah.
I mean, I can 100% see where James is coming from, but no, it's no for me. You know, I mean, if they paid $2 million for a reserve player, well, that no, it's sort of do with wages, you say, Docs. I mean, that guy probably promised a gold mine to come and play for Fulham and teams like that because they're getting that type of money. But if you're going to go out and spend £4 or £5 million, for me, it's got to be a midfielder who is going to do a job for us, and then some. Not just somebody that we can
It's going
say
to be a
is that
first team player, mate.
it's got to be a first team player, mate.
Glasgow Rangers and the Vancouver Whitecats should never be looking at the same kind of players, James.
Yeah. But can I this is one final point, right? Okay, I've got a list of names I've written down, and we'll see how they come on in years to come. Hellenkamp, I don't know. I just saw him the other day. He might be maybe not in the first team, but he might be in the squad. He's not in the reserves. He's going to be in the squad. He's not going to be a reserve player. And the other guy plays every week. So that's the point I'm making. And I was honest with Sorry Cab. I looked at him and then I saw him play, and I was honest with you. And even
We've done that a few times, James. We've all done that.
Yeah.
Thought somebody's been good, and then you see them,
Aye.
they're not so good, you know?
yeah, but I agree that we need to replace. We need to be fast, and these guys, our midfield players, have got to score, because if we get 2 or 3-0 up in the first half of each game, it'll take the pressure off us all the time. But I'm going to go, and I'll come up with some other names in the future.
I'm sure you will, James. Always good to hear from you, mate. Take it easy.
Take care. Take care. Bye now.
Cheers.
Bye.
Everybody.
Anyway, lads, we're about that time of the evening, so get yourself a mute, and we'll have a tune.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on, we love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time the League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup, we are the cup winners too. And when the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox roar. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.
Did you enjoy that, Bridge?
I did that, pal. Excellent stuff. I've just managed to get back to my chair.
We're back. No,
I'm
not
back.
You're back. You're back.
Back.
Right. Where were we? If people want to join us and give their thoughts, it's all about opinions. I thought that was a good point there, mate. I think James is watching players, and so you can watch anybody, can't you? And think, oh, he's a good player, but you need to
We've all
watch
done
him
it.
over a long period of time.
James has been on here, as you know yourself, many times before, Oxshire, and he's got a great knowledge of the football players there. But we've always said here, we need players who hit the ground running, and there's no point in bringing a guy for Ajax, the great team that they were and are, just because they play for Ajax doesn't make them a great player, and we don't have that luxury. We all know what we want this season, and we need players better than the reserve players, mate. It's plain and simple, isn't it?
We need first team. We need a type in there. I can't make my mind up about what the type is.
Gattuso for me is needed.
Away and throw.
What did they say there?
Russell.
We need a Gattuso type player in there, an Ian Ferguson who's no fear to get in.
Fergie would be the one. Stuart McCall.
Aye. It hurts me to say it. It hurts me to say about him there on the other side of the water and that, but no. But that type of player with a bit more skill.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I think he could turn into a hindrance for them, but that's just my personal view, yeah.
I knew, but what I'm talking about is somebody who's no frightened to go in and spoil the midfield. But we've had players like and have a bit of guile about them as well, and we don't have that just now. And I was hoping that Ryan Jack would be that player.
Well, maybe he's that form. Maybe if we change the shape. We might see the bit for Ryan Jack.
Aye.
Okay. If people want to join us, Stardog, what's the number?
0141 356 1972.
Howdy, mate. Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. You can come in and talk to Bridgeman. Bridgeman, JFK, Stardog. If you're lucky, Fox might join us. But this type we're looking for, they're noisy to find, Bridge.
No, they are not, pal. You know, we've been through a long history ourselves, and with a number of outstanding midfielders. But you know, we've had hundreds of midfielders, but only one or two make it to be the quality. I think the quality we're looking for, the type of person that can actually take command and knows what he's doing, and we can trust him. Everybody trusts him, and I think that's what we're looking for. I don't know where we're going to get them, of course, to be honest, but it's very difficult to do. But that's the type of person we're looking for, and we've had some in the past, and unfortunately, we don't have any at the moment.
We'll see. Right, I'll go back. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about Morelos, and people even were divided on here in their views. Yesterday, I know he didn't play well in Leverkusen, but I've got to be honest, JFK, we only get the bottom, did we?
No, I totally agree. He didn't have a good game because he never got the ball what he should have got. And I was like yourself yesterday. I thought he was the best man in the park until they took him off. He needs to give him service, and that all comes from what's happening in the midfield, Oxshire. You know, they need to try and feed him a bit better. And you can't expect him to come looking for the ball all the time. And that's sort of, you know, I'm like yourself, Hadji, for me, the jury's out in that. And I'm hoping that when Kamar Roof becomes available, I think we might see something different there on that wing.
Roof will be there and Ariba will be in the Hadji role. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I would think so. I'd like to see that. And I've hung my hat on Ariba. I think Port Bear better get his money out, because I think he'll be buying a big double Big Mac for my good friend Stardog here, because Ariba's, I think, will be a revelation this season. I know myself, Stardog, I've said in the past couple of seasons that we were touting players and that, and it come back to bite us, but I don't think that's going to happen this season. But I think Hadji needs to make his sell up, or he could find his sell on the bench most games. Once Roof comes into the team, mate, I think he'll be a cracking player for us. Big Iton got a bit of a bit of a tearing apart in some forums today and that, but I think that's
Why?
very, very, very unfair.
Oh,
They were
mate,
saying, some were saying, no, what a waste of money and a striker like that, you know, we paid millions for him. I think these type of people have been really, really unfair. I think we all agreed that the manager probably made a mistake of bringing him on, and then they never gave the guy a chance to get the ball.
we passed the ball. We passed the ball to me, to you.
Exactly.
Me, I don't look at Big Ricky for that, mate. Gerrard essentially killed the game when he brought on all the substitutions, and that's what's happening in every league that you've seen, mate. Every game you've seen, the substitutes are killing the game. I understand we were 3-0 up. I understand we've got another game on Wednesday. But, you know, I was just looking for a wee bit more, mate, and I think the game was pretty much dead. And if you're bringing the ball on, I heard Fox yesterday made a great point. If you're bringing that ball on, you're going to look to get service to him, and I think it was a very, very poor debut, and it was not his fault at all, mate. I would have no blame on the boy hitting. There was no service to him. We were very, very sideways, very, very lacklustre after that. And we just didn't look like we wanted to score another goal last year. So, no blame on the boy hitting at all.
And one more goal would have been sitting top of the league. Anyway, we'll be joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
How you doing, boys? It's Baz from County.
How we doing, Baz? All right?
Baz.
Aye, no bad, mate. Happy with the result of the weekend, of course.
Aye, 2 results, aye.
Aye, the 2 results, aye. No, I was sitting eating my lunch and I was listening and I heard Stardog say something and I thought, nah, you're right, you can't say that. When you mentioned a 5'6" player playing in midfield and saying that we can't hear that Stardog, I totally disagree with you there, mate. A perfect example is one person that somebody just mentioned a few moments ago is Reno Gattuso. You're not telling me he couldn't handle the midfield there here playing in Scotland, because he surely could.
But where do you get a player like Gattuso now, Baz? Where do you get Gattusos now? Do they even exist, players like Gattuso now? You know, and if they did exist, would they come to Rangers? I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible, mate. I just don't feel as if we should be taking a chance on a player that Vancouver Whitecats or whatever they're called are looking at, mate. That's just my opinion.
I'm not talking about that player. I'm just talking about the way that you're rolling out people at 5'6". You know what I mean? You can't do that. As I say, the perfect example.
To be fair, it is heightism, Stardog. You know what I mean?
Aye. I'll take that one on the chin, mate. But listen, it's just no for me, mate. I just think we need a big. I think if you're getting somebody in for the engine room, Baz, they've got to have a bit of something about them. They've got to have a bit of bulk. I'm not saying because you're 5'6" you can't be big bulk. That's not what I'm saying. It's just not the type of player I would be looking at for Rangers now, mate. You've got to be a big physical team. Somebody that's going to be also a presence in both boxes as well to help the team out, mate. That's what I'm looking for as a Rangers fan. It's just an opinion, mate. But I'm not a heightism guy, so sorry to end it as 5'6". What's actually good as to offend you? I'm sorry if I offended you.
No, I'm 5'7", nearly 8, so I'm alright there.
There you go, right, so I touched that nerve. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
That's quite a common height on here, TFK.
Well, I'm 5'6.5", so I'm a midget.
I've touched a few nerves.
He's
I'm
a
sorry.
giant.
My
boy's 6'6". Man, I don't know what that's came
I still
from.
don't know what happened there, mate. Honestly,
hey, that's why I'm called tripod, mate.
Oh dear. Baz, going back to, I think the point that Stardog made, and Stardog, stop me if I'm wrong here. We need a type in there, somebody, if you like. A destroyer who can just get the ball and drive us forward. We know that he'll keep it simple and make passes, but all the other midfielders, Davis, Jack, Kamara, Arfield, they're all similar.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with you. I mean, I agree with you. So we definitely need something different in midfield. Somebody that can pass the ball forward and it can ping a pass and it can basically dominate the midfield with his head held high and be looking for that pass rather than sideways all the time. I totally agree with you guys. I just that was the point I picked up on, and I just
I got a name thrown at me yesterday regarding the midfielders.
I bet you get names thrown at you every day.
Oh, hey, I get more than names thrown at me, mate. I heard you talk about baseball bats and hammers earlier on. Well, there you go. Joe Allen, Stoke City. Somebody said that if he became available, would he be a good fit for us?
I think his best years are way behind him, isn't he?
Aye. I think he's about 29, 30 now, maybe 31. I'm not sure. No, just somebody saying about Joe Allen. But I mean, he's a no nonsense in the centre of midfield, and that, you know. So good tackler, good passer. But I think you might be right. His best days might be behind him.
Somebody should see Big George Alberts a phone if he wants to come out of retirement.
Alberts, is Alberts the type we're needing? I know he was a quality player for us, but is that the blend, the type we're needing? Would you say that Aribo does the George Alberts role? He will pop up with goals, drive into the box. You know, Alberts did he?
He didn't sit, but he drove forward. But I would like to see he's somebody that's got a dig on him as well. Somebody that would like to take a shot.
He'd know a bad shot on him, I'll give you that.
But anyway, boys, I'll clear the airways, let you go and let somebody else take a shot.
Cheers, Baz. Always great to hear
Cheers, Baz.
from you. And the next time you're arranging that Italy trip, remember me, yeah?
Aye, no bother, mate. All right, boys, take care.
Cheers, take it easy, mate.
Cheers, bye-bye.
It's just a type. I get your point. Just came back to yesterday's game. I think the boy McLaughlin once again done okay for his Bridgeman.
Yeah, I think I don't think he put a foot wrong with it, exception of one wee mistake he made. He went out and he stretched a wee bit too much and palmed the ball a wee bit, and allowed the guy to get a shot in. The goalkeeper covered that anyway. Other than that, I think our goalkeeper had a very, very good game, very safe at the back, and was a willing participant in the wee passes here and there, which a lot of folk don't like, but it was very good. No problems with that goalkeeper, no problems at all.
That's a great point you make, Bridge. Stardog, I'd like to know the goalkeepers who obviously thrive on clean sheets, yeah? I'd like to know what they think about that messing about near the goal.
Oh, I tell you, there's not really much. I know Big McGlack, he's in his 30s as well, so him and Alan McGregor, mate, they've been about, they've got enough experience, but I'd like to have what Alan McGregor's saying to some of them on the parts, see when they come under pressure, like, because you know what he's like, he can lose it at the best of times, mate, and if you're putting him and his goal in danger, and we all know how Alan McGregor hates to lose goals, you just wonder what he's saying to them, mate, and you can just imagine, and it's just something as Jimmy touched on it earlier, and you just hope that doesn't happen. For me, it's something I've got to knock in the head, but the goalkeepers must know like that, Oxford, because essentially you're putting them in their goal in danger. They've got clean sheets they want to keep. They've got a no wee bad run going there, so they want to keep that. They want to maintain that.
I agree, mate. I agree, yeah. It'd be interesting if we get their thoughts. So, obviously, they're not going to tell you. They'll take one for the team, etc. But
hello.
Hello, how we doing, caller? All right?
Aye, not bad, mate, not bad.
What's your name, mate?
My name's Raymond Jenkins.
Raymond, how we doing, mate?
No bad, pal. All I want to say is, right, there's one midfielder, right, I watched last year, right?
Go on then, he's a good one.
And Sergio from Braga.
Oh, Braga. Try to think.
Sergio scored a beauty goal against Rangers.
Is that
he scored the first goal?
He scored the first goal, mate. What's that player he is, by the way?
That was a peach, wasn't it?
It was a peach, mate. And I reckon it cost maybe 15 million. I don't know how much it cost.
That ain't happening, is it? Unless you've got a few quid, Raymond.
I know, but what a player he is, mate. What a player.
I know. But
he could do it well apart from anybody. And that's what we're missing in midfield.
Is that the type you think we need?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. There's nobody in Rangers can score outside the box except for Hadji, and Hadji still does not do it as much. So I reckon we still need somebody who can score outside the box, and Sergio is a man to do that.
15 million, Stardog.
What do you think?
Aye. I mean, look, I've no doubt at all that the boy's a smashing player, but this is what I'm trying to get at, guys. We're we're in a tough market in Scotland. You're not going to attract a player of that calibre with that kind of price tag. And in the same sense, you know, you're not going to want to just spend £1 million, £2 million on players. You know, there's a grey area, mate, and that's where Rangers are now. And it's really hard. And you know, we've got to have scouts out there looking at folk, Oxshire. You know, you would like to think we have them. We've got we're eyeing 1 or 2 players, but there's a grey area in the market, mate, and that's where Rangers are. You know, it's a hard league to lure players to unless you're giving them decent wages, and even at that, we can't compete with the wages at down south or Portugal or Gain teams, mate. So, you know, it's about getting the right calibre of player, but I've no doubt that boy's a smashing player, mate, and if he'd be willing to come and sign at Ibrox, then I would have him.
How much do you think he's worth, Sergio? How much do you think he's worth?
I've not seen much of the boy, mate. I mean, I've seen him in the game against us.
I've got him here. He's valued at 3.75 million.
All right.
So there you go.
He's 29, 30. He's 30 in November.
Yeah.
His current market value as of the 6th of August 2020 is £3.75 million. Fran Sergio scored 5 goals before the lockdown. Central midfielder. Plays for Braga. Aye, I remember him, mate. Aye.
Right. His first goal was superb, and he had a chance second half, and he just put it at the bar. But he's a kind of defending midfielder, but he comes forward, he scores goals to outside the box. That's the kind of player you want.
Good shout, mate. Good shout.
Aye, well, maybe £4 million becomes a different argument, Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond, did you hear the rest? Is this the first time you've been on, mate?
Yeah, mate, but I listen to your calls all the time, mate. I watch it every night as soon as you're on, it's good.
Right, okay. What we're saying is we need someone in midfield. We're not criticising the boys what we've got, but we're just saying there's a lot of similarities between them. What's your view?
Well, I don't really know, mate, because I watch games, right, and it's quite hard to judge but I feel Morelos is coming too deep, right? Morelos wants away. I think he wants away. He wants to go. That's my opinion, right? I think he wants to go somewhere else to make money. But I feel we need a good midfielder, as you said, because you've got too much. You've got Jack, you've got Kamara sitting too deep. Spain passes too wide midfields all the time. We need somebody more direct. So I feel as if Sergio would take Kamara's place, and he's a certain midfielder, and I feel he's scored no goals. We don't have one person that would score outside the box. Not one person, except for Hadji. That's my opinion.
Oxshire, can I fire a name at these quickly? I don't know what this boy's doing with his career or where he is now, but where's Danny Drinkwater now?
Spain, is he no?
No, I don't know.
I think he's...
No, for
me... There you go, Stardog.
For me, mate, Danny Drinkwater would be, you know, I'm not saying him in particular, but it's that kind of player, mate. Somebody that's been there round the block a couple of times, somebody that can score a goal outside the box, somebody that will put his body in front of...
Stardog, the way he peaked with that Leicester team, got his move and then
just
disappeared.
Aye, but Chelsea wasted him, mate, and we've seen them do that so many times. But I don't know where he is in the Oxford, but you know, it's that type of player I would really like to see at Ibrox. A Danny Drinkwater, mate. There's a name I'll fling out there.
Is he no still at Leicester?
No, he moved to Chelsea.
Well, he moved to Chelsea, right?
He went out on loan to some Spanish team, but he's back at Chelsea.
Did you know I actually go on loan to Burnley and then he got to jail in a nightclub?
I remember that, aye.
I don't remember the jail, but I remember him being at Burnley, Oxford, aye. But that's a name I'll fling out there. Somebody like that I would have in the centre of the park, mate. He would bring experience. Like I say, put his body in front of boys. He'll hit shots.
If you're Googling it to find out what he's up to, make sure you get the spelling right, because that could end you up in a lot of trouble.
Aye. Okay.
Another centre midfielder I think I do rate him, and I've watched him in the Championship and all, is Sam Clucas. Stoke City. He's a decent player.
Where's this fascination with Stoke, mate? They were red rotten last year.
No, they've got some good players. They have got some good players, mate. They have
paper, but football's played on grass.
But you go and look at them, you know, you see. But if They're no reserve players. They're playing at a decent level. It's just
Well,
we're all trying to throw in a different player and that. But just teams that I've watched.
They were lucky to stay up at the finish, Stoke, weren't
They
they?
were, mate. Aye.
He done. He kept him up. He kept him up. But if we were turning the clock back the way, Raymond, what player would you take and put in the team this new, for the past?
For the past, Alberts, 100%.
Alberts. All right, okay.
Yeah. 100%, mate.
That was the same as Baz, Stardog. Maybe before your time, eh?
Aye. In my opinion, Australia, you just take the clock back 10 years, mate, and you've got a perfectly good Stephen Davis there. If only could rewind the clock and just that one player that's already there.
But I don't know if he would give you what you're looking for, mate. He was more offensive then. He was a
boxer, wasn't he?
Sometimes I feel we're trying to walk the ball in the net too many times, try to play it in the net.
Yeah.
But there's chances. Sometimes you've got Davis on 18 years box. He's trying to. He needs somebody to shoot. But Davis will only shoot. He'll pass wide. We need somebody who can hit the ball and put the ball in the net. That's what. So Sergio for me, Mendes too. Exactly, Mendes. Aye. But for me, the right player, Sergio can do that outside the box.
Right.
Did he score many, Pedro? But when he scored them, they were crackers, weren't they?
Brilliant.
Me and you could probably pick out a few players, and same as Bridgman, Oxshire. But if I had getting away from the midfield area just for a second, if there's a player that I would love to see back playing at Ibrox, for me, one of my favourite all-time players would be Michael Moles, mate.
Michael Moles, what a player he was.
I love Michael Moles. I thought, what a fantastic player. What a fantastic
player. You thought he was on left, but he turned right.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. That's brilliant.
It was a unique skill he had.
Definitely.
Van Bronckhorst for me.
Well, can't argue with that
one.
We're
going Dutch tonight.
Right, cheers, guys. I'll leave you in. Cheers, guys, in for your call. Thank you very much.
Raymond, thanks,
cheers,
mate.
buddy.
Speak to you soon, mate. All right.
Cheers, guys.
And
cheers,
Jim
guys.
Baxter.
Aye.
For me.
Aye, but definitely, I think there's a lot in agreement here. I mean, I don't see it as a criticism. I see it, we just feel as if we want to improve. Stardog.
Aye, I mean, we'll just try to progress, mate. We'll try to progress as a team. I mean, look how far we've came. If you could go through every single individual position, mate, that we have strengthened, and it's got round to that part of the team, mate, where we're looking at the midfield now. Jimmy was saying for way back last year we needed to strengthen up front. That wasn't a criticism. It was just what we needed, mate. It's what the club needed, what the team needed. Same with the centre-back position when Big Nico got out, we strengthened because that's what we needed. Nobody on here is coming in and saying, sell Ryan Jack or sell Glenn Kamara. They're perfectly good midfield players, mate, but they're all just too very similar. And what we're looking for is somebody that's going to give us a bit different. Somebody that's going to drive with the ball, move the ball, and be effective in both boxes, essentially, mate. He's going to be able to stop corners coming in, and he's going to be able to bone the end of corners as well. We're wanting a machine in there. And I don't think any of the 3D boys bring that. So, for me, we're just looking for a bit of improvement, mate. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what we are as a football team. We're always looking to improve, mate.
I don't know if we'll get that 20% improvement anymore, like you did when you brought McGregor in for Wes. I think it'll be 5% improvement to now GFK.
Aye, you're probably right there, mate. Aye, I would say you're probably right. When you say that, I mean, it's no criticism. It's a craving for success we're wanting, and we can see that there might be something that needs twisted a wee bit. There's a wee glitch there that needs to be sorted. And if the gaffer can sort that out in the middle of the park, I think we're home and hosed. I still like another striker and a right back. Obviously with a midfield player, but if he can get that sorted in the middle, then I think we'd motor, mate. I think we'd go out in a good run.
Well, I think there's times for Jack and Kamara to maybe play in there be one or the other, and there'll be games. But it's St Mirren at Ibrox when they're playing, literally 11 men behind the ball. We shouldn't have any problems with our defensive setup. We don't need the two of them shielding the centre halves.
No, you're right.
All right, Bridgman, if people want to join us, these are thoughts. What's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Give us that number again, Stardog.
0141 356 1972. My mute button's giving me jip tonight, by the way. I don't know what's going on.
Give us that number again, JFK.
It's 653 0141 356 1972.
JFK, you're a shocker.
You told me to say that, Port Bear. Shut up.
You know why we done that, Stardog, didn't you? Or Joyce
Oh,
at
I know
Skype
why
at
we've
Rangers
done
Radio .online. We brought in a call by old school Blue and Fox. They're sitting patiently. How would you rate yesterday's performance out of 10, Bridgman? And also your man of the match.
Overall, I would suggest it's probably like if we just counted it with goals, it wouldn't be that high. But overall, for me, 7.5, 8. You know, I thought we were miles and miles and miles better than that team. Our limitations were our own limitations. Man in the match, I'd go with our centre half again. To be honest, I think the big centre half is a good game.
All right, okay. I think about centre halves, didn't you?
I quite like them.
Stardog.
It's 10 out of 10 for me, mate. Look, we win 3-0, another clean sheet, 3 points on the board. You can't really ask for much, mate. I've got wee criticisms here and there, but 3 points is all that matters. So 10 out of 10 for me.
Man of the match?
Aribo. I'm only joking. Morelos.
I agree with you, but I'm not agreeing with your 10 out of 10. That was a 6.5 max out of 10, mate. First 20 minutes we were okay. Then we huffed and puffed after we got the goal. Then it started the second half, we were huffing and puffing. It wasn't until we got the second goal, you could see the pressure coming off the team. Obviously got the third one quite rapidly. And then we just played the game out and it became a non-event. I'm not having 10 out of 10. JFK?
I'll get a 7, mate. My man of the match would probably be between Alfredo and Big Balogun. But I'm going to get Alfredo. Midfield must do better before they get a 10 out of 10, mate.
I get your point, Stardog, that if we win every game at home, 3-0 for new at the end of the season, we'll all be delighted.
That's my point, Oxford. You know, what more can you actually ask for? You know, I know we've got wee criticisms here and there, but look, we never conceded a goal. We won 3-0, it's 3 points on the board, and we just move on to the next game, mate. Like I said earlier on in the show, you take every game as it comes, mate. The next game is the most important game, as Bridgman says. So that's the only reason how I gave it a 10 out of 10, and maybe just a wee bit because of their result as well. It was just a good weekend, wasn't it, really?
Aye. By the way, just going back to the game yesterday, I mean, I just can't get my head around Bridgman. You've watched a lot of Scottish football over the years. What is this negativity? What has creeped into your game? Teams used to have a go. You used to see games of football. That was like defence against attack yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was. Tactic was just string along the 18-yard box and let's see if we can maybe make a break and we'll chip a ball up the top. And it was just rubbish. It was just utter rubbish and boring and so negative. It kills the game. However, I think Rangers picked the ball up and picked the game up and gave it a good shrug, tried their best, got through a couple of times, a couple of shots at goal, keeper made some good saves. Other than that, St Mirren just killed the game and, they got nothing out of it and didn't deserve it. And as I say, it was 3-0 going on 13 for me, easily.
Yeah, their manager after the game, I don't know if any of you managed to catch it, he did say that this time coming to Ibrox, he decided he would press them a bit higher. I don't know where he got.
I think he got it back to front, mate.
I couldn't believe it when I heard him say it.
They were playing that deep in the first half. They were nearly sitting in the broomy, weren't they?
Aye, but there was 11 in. There was 11 of them in the box at one time.
Anyway, we'll be 10-15 minutes.
We'll be joined by Denver.
The second half.
We'll be joined by Denver. Denver.
How
are we doing, guys?
All right, Denver.
Oh.
How are we doing, mate? What's on your mind?
Doing all right. Aye, good professional performance yesterday, lads. Just top notch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, you watch against St Mirren, you know what you're going to get. Before the game starts, you know what you're going to get. And to finish them off the way they did was good. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That was the first game I've actually seen this season.
Right, okay. Did you notice any difference, Denver?
That's the one thing that concerns me. You know, like you were talking about, Jack and Kamara being similar. But what I was thinking is, remember last year when just before we played the Scum in the League Cup final, Jack was pushing forward. But since then, he's kind of dropped back a bit. I think we need to get him pushing forward again because he brought a lot to the team and he brought a few goals in,
I mean, Jack got played of the season off his supporters last year, and there was games he was. He didn't deserve to be in the losing side in that cup final. He was immense, the boy. But he's playing next to the centre halves at the moment, mate.
Aye, and as Stardog says, along with Kamara as well. They're just playing the same. It's like two guys in the same jersey. It's just weird. I don't get where Stevie G is coming from, especially against St Mirren.
Mm-hmm. There's a place for it and games for it, but there's no.
No doubt
no home against St Mirren. GFK.
Everything that Denver said there, I 100% agree. We're playing some nice football game, a tippy-tappy and that, but it's sometimes the end result I think is caused by what's happening in the midfield. They're not getting it far enough. They're not getting it quick enough to Alfredo, and they need to do that more often. Get it to Alfredo, And for me, the three of them are just kind of falling out of tab at each other, and that's not going to work. And if that's the system that Steven Gerrard's going to play, then it's going to get us into trouble, especially when we play better teams than St Mirren. And we need to watch that. And let's hope that he does bring in the midfielder that we're looking for him to bring in. Because I don't think they three are going to hack it this season, mate. No playing like that, they're no. Definitely not.
Stardog, you still see St Mirren as a top 6 team?
I still think they'll be alright, Oxshare. I do, mate. I'll not take back what I say. I still think they'll be alright. Look, they defend it well. They play them, don't they, on Wednesday night? The Mankey Mob's got to go there on Wednesday, mate. That'll be a tough game at their stadium. So let's hope they can do us a favour on Wednesday and all. But for me, mate, they'll still finish in the top 6. They'll be alright. They're a well organised team. We were just too good for them, mate. We just broke them down eventually. It took us a wee bit longer than we'd want it, but eventually we got there, mate. For me, the midfielder's essential, but look, we've already kind of covered that enough tonight. I think it's brilliant to see Alfredo getting back. He got his 2 goals, and let's hope, mate, this is an new chapter with Alfredo and us, mate. Because I feel good about it the now. So I think he's got a smile on his face as well, which is important, mate. And as long as the manager keeps playing him, I believe he'll keep putting the ball in the back of the net for us.
Denver, where do you stand in Morelos, mate? What do you think will happen?
I hope, as I said on Friday, I hope he stays, Ox. I'm desperate for him to stay. I said to my boy yesterday when I was watching it, just stay one more year and then the sky's the limit, wee man. Come, stay, get us that league, and then you can do what you want, then you can go away with your heat held high,
Can't argue with that, Denver.
That's it. Stardog is such an important guy for us, And these the two boys were bought. They've not had a chance to settle in. I can't believe it, Jimmy, when you were telling earlier on there was somebody saying he wasted money on the big Swiss guy. Reading it online.
Aye, there was a few people saying that they weren't happy. But that's what happens. I mean, it's a typical guys, the airheads out there who want to make a comment about it. And we all agreed here, Denver, that we thought the manager made an error of that of bringing him on because you never get the ball.
It was nobody bringing him on, GFK. It was just that we took the whole tempo again. Wasn't fair on the boy?
Exactly, but that's what I think Macy's agreed. He could have left Alfredo on and played the two of them there. And maybe brought Alfredo back to that position that you say that you like to see him play, but he done against Coventry and Aberdeen, right? And let Iton up there on his own with Alfredo behind him. But that when he just took Alfie off and brought in Bonnet, and it killed the game. And what Stardog said earlier on, I wasn't happy with the substitute. 3 subs. Kind of the last 20 minutes became like a friendly type match. 3 on, 3 off, and then 5 minutes later another 2 on. You know,
Denver Bear, I know you pay a lot for your RTV. What did you make of the improvement in service yesterday?
It was good. The only downside for me is Alec Ray. I just don't like that wee guy. I've got no time for him at all. Neil McCann, a lot of time for, but Alec Ray, I just don't have any time for at all. But you know, I like the new setup, doing that wee bit after match thing, because previously that it just cut off, you know, at the end of the game and then we were done, you know. So I liked it. It was good, you know.
So they're doing pre-match. They're doing pre-match and post-match shows. I wonder whether the ideas for Stardog.
Aye, I know. But can I actually say on the commentary, you know, I don't know if Jimmy's boys said anything to him or no about the commentary or that, but see, listening to Clive Tilsley talking yesterday when the players were all out and you were just looking at the stadium before the game kicked off, I actually thought I was listening to a game of FIFA to start with, because that's what it sounded like, and it's brilliant to have him there. And what a job he done, mate. And he's a breath of fresh air for me, Yorkshire, to have that guy associated and commentating on our games. And if you look at the pages and pages of work that the guy went through, mate, and he was very honest in his assessment of the team, I thought he was a breath of fresh air, mate. So a big shout out to him and all. Him and Thompson were brilliant.
I'm going to go to the other. On you go. I'm going to go to the other end of the scale there. I much prefer Tom Miller, because I don't like commentators who are commentating on Rangers games telling you how well Celtic did last year to win the league by 13 points. That to me was a load of fish. So that's for me. Tom Miller.
No, Denver.
Sorry, guys.
Calm down, Denver. Calm down. Hey, Denver, can I just ask you, when you said you're only too keen on Alex Ray, any particular reason, or is it just a general dislike?
Denver, Bridgeman, there's maybe no time and a place for that answer.
Just asking.
Oh, maybe you're right enough. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that the next time we get together. Bridge, how's that sound?
Okay, that's cool, pal.
Because I owe you a beer because I didn't get you one
I know.
Last time I was there. You know.
I know, everybody's talking about it.
I'm saving up my money. I'm saving up my pennies, though, Bruce. Right, you know.
I like it, pal.
So one more point on the game yesterday. One guy who I was really, really super impressed with was Big Shirley Bassey. I thought that big guy was like immense. I thought I'd love to see him playing a 90 minutes. Telling you, I thought that big guy was great when he came on.
All right, he's a big unit, enthusiastic. Should have scored the goal. The goal with a decent save for him. I'll make you a few good saves yesterday. GFK, because I know you're a big Shirley Bassey fan.
Well, go figure on that, blah blah blah. Without getting too, I mean, I'm the same as Denver. I've not got any time for Alex Ray. For a previous life, as they say, I tore a few strips off him, but we'll not go there with him. I've no time for him at all. I think he's a bit I'm not even going to go in there.
Carry on, move on.
No, I just think I get tore into him on a certain other station. No, and I think he's taking the dirty shilling before.
Move on. The question, right? I'll go to Stardog with a question about Shirley Bassey, right?
Shirley Bassey's a great singer.
Right, Stardog. The question to Denver very kindly asked about Shirley Bassey. Yes.
Yes. He looked solid when he came on, mate. He looked very, very fast. But for me, you know, it's playing him 90 minutes, mate, at the expense of Borna Barisic it's maybe just a bit too much for the boy to know. But his cameos, mate, as long as he keeps coming on, you know, but we know the fixtures, mate, they're going to be tight this year. So if we're winning comfortable in games, getting Borna Barisic off, mate, and getting him on as a replacement, you know, you're not worried about that boy coming on, mate, because he looks strong, he looks fast, he looks technical, and he was actually unlucky, mate, not to go on the end of a cross yesterday as well. So I can 100% see where Denver's coming from, mate, but not at the expense of Borna Barisic just yet. But a great backup for Borna, mate, 100%, aye.
Good point about the cameo. If he gets married, he looks enthusiastic, looks as if, and then maybe the boy Patterson, if we can get to 3-0 up, he might get Mary a cameo. Yeah, I know some GFK was looking for him to be playing yesterday, but build up his confidence, see how good they are. But the Bassey boy, he is a unit and he looks very, very quick, Denver.
You know, he was good control on the left-hand side there and just so unlucky not to go on the end of that cross and get that goal from man. You know, I was so looking forward to him scoring. But a good signing, a good smart signing there, that big boy. But you know, we're looking good. We're looking good, you know. And who can play on? Is Roof available on Wednesday?
I think it's his fitness, mate. I think it's just getting his fitness. I've got a funny feeling that he could be maybe on the bench on Wednesday, potentially. Anybody else think?
I think he will be as well. I think he will be too.
I think it's out time to introduce him. He's making noises that he's raring to go, which is understandable. But I think we'll tear St Johnstone a new one in the Wednesday. Really do.
Right, keep up for tomorrow night. But just go back to the Ruth question. I don't think he'll start personally, but I think he'll be on the bench.
I agree with you. I agree. I think both him and Itten will come on tomorrow night. That's what I think. But can I go back to Shirley? Sorry. Oh well, you know what I mean. Whenever they're playing that, I do apologise. I think the boy Bassi was a smashing cameo. I thought he played very well, looked good, and it looks like we'll get some riches at full back. Good backups for the full backs at the moment. So looks very good.
Stardog.
Yeah, for what I'm seeing, Oxford, he's saying he's fit and he's ready to go on that, but I still believe St Johnstone's going to be a match too soon for him. If he's the quality that everybody says is and what I think he's going to be, it'll be no harm leaning him out one more game, and we'll maybe see him at the weekend. I think Oxford maybe as a cameo. I still think St Johnstone will be a bit too soon for the boy.
All right, mate. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, because obviously he's going to get his fitness right then, Vara.
Oh, aye. You don't want to be throwing him in there and then knocking him out for another couple of weeks, Aye, looking forward to it. It's always good. That was my first game yesterday, so it's good to see them back,
JFK. You look at the squad now. We've tweaked, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe we're looking at the midfield more closely, because you think about it, Golson looks better this season, and all of a sudden Balogun coming in and Hollander even in Thursday night in defeat. The centre half's done okay. We've got an internationalist at left back. What did we have when Gerrard came in? In the defence. You think back to before he came in, Murty and Cacinha's team and who was playing for us. The difference in quality is night and day. You've got Jack in there that was there the season before, but then you've got people that are Rebo, and then you've got Hadji, and you've got Morelos was there, but then you've got Kent, and we've got Roof maybe going to be on the right. The team and the squad, what the job they've done, along with the board and the support. Come on, because as a support, it's pushed this.
Of course,
it's fantastic, mate.
It's fantastic. It's night and day, for what we're going to see before Stevie G came, and even when Stevie G came, there was a lot of rub, and we can only use the word. There were a lot of rubbish players there, and if you bide his time and get through the last couple of seasons to weed them out, get them out, and bring other good players in, and we have got a great pool of players, but we just, as you say, we just need a couple of wee tweaks here just to finish it. The final piece of the jigsaw aren't inserted yet, and as soon as we get them, nobody's going to stop us, mate. We have got Alfredo's going to stay. I've got a feeling that he's going to stay now, and we Roof, who plays mainly in the right but plays a striker as well, and with Big Itten, I'm happy with that. Just need that wee combative midfielder, whether he's 5'2" or 6'2", get him in there. Another right back for me, mate, as well, just to chase a big man up. Apart from that, I'm happy with everything else. The pool of players we've got is a cracking pool of players now.
You better go to that store tomorrow and buy everything that's available if you want to let him in the door.
I know.
Yeah, I think there might be a loan player. I think we might one more signing, maybe a loan player, JFK.
Well, possibly. Who's it going to be? Any ideas? Anybody say dating to you?
No, I've not heard a thing, mate. Honestly, haven't heard a thing yet. The South African one seems to have went cold. You've heard various stories that Rangers weren't even in for him. Where information might have been false there, not for the first time. But that's went cold, and we'll see where it takes us. And by the way, Roof had been rumoured, but let's be honest about it, nobody had a big wiki, did they, Stardog, when we signed him? Nobody, just
Oh.
fans signed.
That's well at a left field, Hawkshire. Nobody mentioned him once. You know, and then you went and you looked at his goal ratio and then his wee international cameos as well and the goals that he'd picked up for Switzerland, and you think, all right, you know, maybe we've got a wee player here. So to me, that tells me, mate, that the manager and the backroom staff are constantly working and looking for players and trying to get deals done and talking to people and things like that. So, look, until anything's announced, mate, we don't know who's coming or who's gone. But for me, we're as strong as we've ever been now, Oxford. We're talking about the players I mean, the turnaround's been nothing short of remarkable for me, mate. You know, even John Flanagan, players like that, he get players in to do a job, but then he never renewed contracts because he knows we've got to up the standard. He tried and tested players, your Ovie Ajarias, but he never ever hung on to any of these players, mate. And that's all you can ask for. A manager that knows what it takes to be the head of this football club, mate. Players in, if they're not going to cut it, you get them out until you get the mixture right. And now we're starting to get it right. We're maybe one or two short, but we're getting there, mate. And for me, we're as strong as we've ever been. And I just hope that continues, mate. I really hope it continues.
Here, mate. Here. GFK.
He's doing a bridge, man.
Aye. Bridgeman. He's doing a JFK. Me and you.
No, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here, pal. I'm here.
All Stardog and Oxshire holding down the ship as usual, Oxshire.
What a pair you two are.
You know what they say when you pipe peanuts, Stardog, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Well, that's
Shockers.
That's the truth. Shockers at Perry, yeah, that's the truth. That's shock. I've lost the train of thought now. What was the question again?
It was something to do with Pythagoras, I think.
Pythagoras theorem. What do you want to know about it?
What happens if he
Spell
was
it.
wrong? What happens if he was wrong?
What if he was wrong? Yeah. Is there any chance? I couldn't tell you, pal. I don't know who it was. Love it. Just love it.
Getting back to the squad, and we'll go to you and JFK with this. I mean, Stardog's made a point. We came in the door with Bates. We had the boy, McCrory, who at the time we all thought was one of our top players. We had, I think Lee Wallace was left back cover. Tav was the only right back. We did have a centre half. We improved the goalkeeping position. We brought in internationalists in the midfield and forward areas to improve our team. Scotty Arfield, Stephen Davis, Hadji. We paid $7 million in Kent. All right, that's the fans. It's got us to that level. But the way the squad's developed in 2 years now is frightening.
100% agree with that. Oh, sorry, JFK. Carry on,
you
pal.
go first, pal.
No, please, carry on.
Aye, as I said before, the players he has brought in are I mean, some of them would we call them world class? No, yet European class, definitely. And I think the gaffer's proved that. His record with the team in Europe in the last 2 seasons is absolutely phenomenal. So we're looking to go that step further, and let's see if he can take us there. But I'd like to know if you have any inclination of who the lone player might be, Oxford, or who
No,
you'd like
mate,
it to be.
nothing, mate, nothing. You'll be the first I'll let know, mate. There you go. There's a promise.
Oh, there you go.
Right? If I hear it,
Did you see the silly news?
I think we'll sign another player and we'll get somebody on loan. But
Did you
these
see
guys,
the silly news today about Omar Sadiq? Aye.
aye, well, that just shows you mad football.
Oh, dearie me. There you go. Do you think there'll be a lone midfielder?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what it'll be, mate. I just feel as if we'll sign somebody and we'll go and get somebody on loan.
As long as the striker's no Lyndon Dykes, because again, Burnley offered 1.3 million and they rejected it. He's not even worth half of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean Dykes is a good judge, mate. He plays a system that's effective in that league. It's not maybe everybody's idea of football, but he does like a big bustling centre forward, and it's worked for him.
Agreed. That's a good point.
Aye, there's a lot of people think he'll go and get a bigger club, but he's done a remarkable job at that Burnley for me, mate.
I don't know if Dykes would be a success at Burnley, I must admit, but I agree with your point. Likes a big busting centre forward. It's the truth.
He'll not win a game, Livingston, is it? You know?
No, don't even look like it either. Don't even look like it.
I think the collar option, it's just come in.
Yes, it was there, but it disappeared, mate. It
Wow.
was there, but no there now. Technicals, mate, technicals. That's how they get the big bucks, and me and Bridge get nothing.
Correct. But we're needing something, mate. Whether it's a lone player or whether it's we're signing somebody, we need something. But like I said, we had your
Evening, caller.
How you doing, guys?
How we doing? Is that Stevie? Stewie? How we doing?
I know, bad lad. No bad lad. It's I have fun, and yes, doing it for an anniversary meal tonight. And I'll tell you what, this season, I spoke to you, Fernando, my wife's brother, and I tell you what, this could be your season. You're looking good.
All right, I hope you're right, Stu. I hope you're right. GFK.
Definitely. 100% agree with you, Stu. This is your season, mate. This is your season. We've got to keep saying that and hope that that's what it comes to at the end.
Fucking
a big surprise.
Absolutely.
That's man.
Watched that yesterday. They were dire.
Do you think so?
No, he's talking about the game at Rugby Park.
Oh, Rugby Park? No, I wasn't like Big Stevie. I didn't. Although I cheered the result. I didn't watch it yet.
Every team, okay, for the pandemic now, every team's got to go. Celtic's going 10 in a row. Give me a break. They were rubbish. They were absolute. Oh my God.
Long may it continue, Stu, yeah? Long may it continue.
Only.
Go on then.
It's a safety. Sorry, mate. We've been from here.
You're breaking up, Stu.
Oh, he's breaking up there, Stu. Well, long may it continue, but our club are going back to the positive start, Doug. You gave it 10 out of 10. And do you know something? The highlight of the game for me yesterday was a bit of skill for James Tavernier. I didn't think he had his greatest game yesterday. I thought he was sloppy in the first half, and some of the delivery for corner kicks. I don't know whether this comes from we hit the ball too hard. You've no chance if you hit it too hard. You just clear it for the defence. But one of the highlights of the game, nobody's mentioned him tonight, so that was a positive for James, isn't it?
Oh, mate, you can't disagree with that. I think we've all kind of had it a wee bit in for Tavernier recently, mate. But the one thing I will say in his favour, he got his selling. I don't know how many times James Tavernier was the first player in the box yesterday, Oxford. He showed a real desire to get in the box yesterday. He was trying to go on the end of crosses. It was like full-back crossing into full-back. And I know he's done it in the past, mate, but, in that game in particular yesterday, I don't think I've seen him do it as much in one game. He was almost like a second striker or a centre midfielder at sometimes yesterday. So for to me, mate, it looks as if he's trying to add something to his game. It looks as if he's at least trying to get his cellar in the mix. And that's all we can ask, mate. But if we're asking him to do that, like Fox always says, it's important that we know somebody else has got a job to cover for where he's missing for. So that's on somebody else, mate. If he's going to be committing his selling into the box like that. But I liked the look of James Tavernier yesterday. I had no complaints. And what a goal that would have been, by the way, if he'd have got that in Oxford. That'd have been goal of the season, wouldn't it?
Mate, that would have been. I mean, he has got that in his locker, GFK. I know. It was a
touch to set him. It was a touch to set his cell, even and all. It was perfect.
I mean, he scored one of the goals at Hampden only because it was a Petrofac Cup. I think Bridgman was behind the goal and thought he was going to catch it. He showed he's got that technique in his locker, but he's not done it enough. And when he first came, he showed he's a tremendous strike. I just think his confidence is lacking with the dead balls,
I was wondering if there's possibly I thought he went for was it an appendix operation or something he went for? I wonder if there's still some lingering.
You never know, but we've had a long break, mate.
Of course, yes.
Of course. With a long break.
That's what it might be.
That's how I think Golston looks better, personally. I think he played that much football. He's had a break and he looks a better player.
Well, sorry, pal.
I made that point yesterday, Austria. You know, it's important that these players get a mental break, and I think that's maybe where we went wrong with James Tavernier and Connor Golson. You know, you're playing them, you're overplaying them, if anything, mate, and sometimes you just need to give your mind a rest or your body a rest, mate, even if it's just for one game you're sitting out. And I think that's something that he will look at doing this year with the likes of Patterson and Balogun, Hollander. And then obviously George is still there and all, George Edmondson. So, no, it's strength and depth, mate. And it's to give players like that a wee mental break, because that's what you need sometimes, isn't it?
Well, Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening and it's over to you, mate.
Oh, my goodness. An early shift right enough, isn't it? Can I just say this? I thoroughly enjoyed tonight. I hope this new time is going to be a big hit for us. I hope everybody enjoys a wee bit extra time they'll get in their bed. But to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, every single one is, I'm still buzzing from the results at the weekend, still buzzing. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
I think we'll be joined by Port Bear.
Good evening, lads. How are we doing?
And good. And
It's
good night. Can I just take this opportunity to thank all the callers this evening? Great to hear from all the callers with Denver, Baz for Orange County, and everybody else that joined us on the phone. Georgie Logan, James for Tennessee, 3 callers for USA tonight. Bridgeman, Fox and Terry for doing the technicals, JFK, Stargug for helping us on the show, and Port Bear come in and take one for the team. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
We support the Glasgow Rangers, do not Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to queue and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We've spent a lot of money on great players, yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plain. The teddy bears have got the bears and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball.